did he do?
Well, one of the things is, and what the media isn't telling anybody in Arizona regarding our elections,
Yeah.
is that there's a lot of false information at the county election department regarding the deadline. They're telling the people who call in, and we actually have recorded online them saying that you can cure your ballot up until November 15th. Now, according to Arizona statute 550, it requires that it has to be completed by November the 10th. So they're trying to disenfranchise voters right now by saying, "Oh, you don't have to worry about it. You've got plenty of time out there." Here's what we're trying to get people to do. We've been reaching out to all of the voters. We know who the list of voters are that need their ballots cured. Now, what causes or constitutes a cured ballot? That means that they mailed in or they dropped off their ballot in the green envelope right there, which has to have a signature, it has to have a phone number, and it has to have the date on there. Any one of those three things missing, then it will not be counted. And so we're reaching out to all of these voters and trying to tell them that they need to cure their ballot. They can go to the Maricopa Election Department. They can call 602-506-1511.
Say it one more time.
Okay, 602-506-1511. Or you can go to the website, which is beballotready.vote. So beballotready.vote. Sign in, check your status of your ballot. If there's any issues with your ballot and everything, you just follow the instructions on your website to cure it. And identify. They have to have an identification there, which is your social security number, your driver's license number, your date of birth, and they got to make sure what your address. All of that has to be checked out, and you can do that online. But the thing is that we have volunteers, and we're needing more volunteers in order to drive to all over the valley. We've reached out, we've texted them, we've emailed them. We have no response. So now we're going to their home, and we're going to actually knock on the doors to try to get them to cure their ballots and stuff. So the thing is that Arizona statute 16550 requires that you complete this by November the 15th. We cannot get the accurate count until the ballots have all been counted, and how we get that is because they have to be cured. The electronic signatures are rarely the match to the digital pics that you sign at Service Arizona, some of these other places that do digital signatures and stuff, they don't match up. And so this is one of the things. So here's one of the things that we're going to be pursuing with all of our legislators, which is if you vote in person, okay, even if it's early voting, but you go in and you physically press the button, check all your information, do your signature and everything else and stuff. There's no need to have a signature verification. You're doing it in person. Right. There's no need to overburden the United States Postal Service. It also eliminates any assumption of improprietary aspects or with chain of custody, which is a big deal right now because we have an extra step from MedTech to run back to MedTech to count ours. That's we've got that in court, and it's just a third party entity that doesn't need to be there. We've been voting in person for over 200 years. It works when it's hand counted at the precinct level and it's done by the people instead of by these third party entities. We need to start going back to our high schools and our churches in our local precincts to vote. If we start doing that, we'll start seeing a lot of these issues go away.
You got this issue and it's immediate. And I'm looking
Exactly.
above you a little bit, and I'm looking at are you a lawyer? Yeah, he's a lawyer. I mean, can a lawyer be involved in this and stop this racket that you got going on in Arizona and have for the last 7 or 8 years?
Well, we've got several. We got Brian Blim that got sanctioned because he questioned the election in 2020 and 2022.
Okay.
We have Kurt Olson, who is out of Washington, D.C. He's also in there. We're asking all attorneys that know federal law and know election law to reach out to us because we're going to be filing lawsuits. Let me tell you what has happened. So Josh Barnett in 2020 ran against Ruben Gallego. He lost 70-30. Okay. Now listen to the numbers. I then took over and ran in 2022. I lost 70-30. I ran again against the incumbent left and ran for Senate, who, by the way, has more votes than Donald Trump. Okay, he received more votes than Donald Trump in Kari Lake Gallego's race. All right, so that's suspect right there as to what's taking place. Why would all of these people vote for Donald Trump here in Arizona yet not go down ballot? The other is that again, Josh Barnett, 70-30 loss. Mine was 70-30 loss in 2022.
Wow.
Guess what my loss was on Tuesday?
I'm going to 70-30.
Exactly. So you can't tell me that I did not gain in a 64% Latino vote or population here. When Starr County in Texas, that is 97% Latino, okay, the Hispanic people that live in Starr County, Texas, they voted for Trump. When was the last time that county voted for a Republican?
I can't. I don't. Probably in the 1800s somewhere.
Exactly. 1892 was the last time that they voted for a Republican. And now you can't tell me that Kelly Cooper and Daniel Gutierrez, were all three of our races here in Arizona, that we did not gain anything. Plus, all of the data showed that the Republicans outvoted the Democrats in early voting. We should have been leading going into it. How is it that they called my race? All right, they called my race 2 hours after the polls had closed, and we had over 1 million ballots still to count, yet they called my race and stuff. So
how many people do you have there that is in this kind of lying and cheating? How many are there? Do you know them all? Do you know who's honest and who isn't? You've been around there for a long time. Don't you know who's doing this? Exactly.
Well, we know who's doing it. It's Steve Richer. We voted him out, but Steve Richer, if you go to his X account, you'll find out that he deleted it, because we started posting on there all of these shenanigans that they were doing and stuff. We had people that were coming to the polling places, and they were saying, we want to register to vote here. Well, register to vote closed in October, and you can't vote there, except for, we have an exception here in Arizona. You can vote for the federal ballot. So for me and Kari Lake and President Trump, then these people who come in, Don't know. They don't have to prove that they're legal citizens. They don't have to prove that they're residents. They don't have to prove anything. They just walk up and they say, I want to vote and let me register to vote. They can do that and get a federal ballot and vote federally. This is the loopholes that we have here in Arizona that we tried to close. So the thing is that we have lots and lots of things that are still going on. Why is it that Florida, that's 3 times the size of Arizona, why is it that Texas, which is twice the size of Arizona, why have they already counted all of their ballots, yet Arizona is still counting, still not understanding what's going on, and we can't even begin that because we're still curing ballots, supposedly. And the thing is that every one of those can be utilized against the candidates there. So the thing is that none of the numbers are adding up here. So we're going to be filing lawsuits and doing PRRs and